the morning steam, it's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott, running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice or might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott, sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
From the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas, this is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show here for Thursday, June 25th. Man, things are cruising along in the World Cup. Now that we're playing 2 games at a time, we've got 6 more games today at the World Cup. And we've got Major League Baseball, an abbreviated schedule today to go over. 3 games in the WNBA, and we're back in the CFL. With our 1 game here on Thursday. We know what we're going to do in that one. Come on. You already know what we're going to do in that one. But in the meantime, we're also going to give you a big chance to win here with the Sports Money Network. Our Sports Money Summer Contest is going to be starting here today. We're going to give you what to do, how to enter, and maybe some tips on how to win the contest here today and every day this week. We'll get started with our summer contest here on Thursday, so get ready for that. It's going to be a lot of excitement here over the Sports Money Network. We'll give you the winners. Who's going to hit home runs? I like this better than the ribeyes out there this year. Who's going long today? It's a tough day to pick the right home run hitter today, so you better get it right. All right, thanks for joining me here, everybody. But there is some breaking news. I think we're going to have to go to that to start the show here. We've got breaking news. All right, got a little bit breaking news this morning that just coming across the wire here at the Sports Money Network. You may have gotten your alerts as well. The Charlotte Hornets are indeed trading star guard, the Melo Ball, and Josh Green to the Minnesota Timberwolves for Naz Reid and a 2033 unprotected first-round pick. You got to get those 2033 first-rounders. I guess guys who are in 2033 draft right now. They're basically in 6th grade, I think. But also 3 first-round pick swaps in 2028, 2029, and 2030. This is getting harder to follow with these NBA trades. And 3 second-round picks in 2029, 2032, and 2033. So maybe you should just deal your future. You might not even be around when those trade all the picks in the future. If I was a general manager, I would say trade everything in the future. I'm here now. I don't care what happens when I'm long gone, and if I win, I'll be a legend. So that just in. LaMelo is on his way to Minnesota with Josh Green. That's just as part of the deal. And Naz Reid is headed to Charlotte. Just seems like Charlotte wanted to rid their hands of Ball to just maybe more trouble than he's worth. And I don't know. Minnesota's been in a prime spot, and Reid has been a key figure. So got to wonder what their plans are with Ball and Green for the Hornets. So that's the breaking news here, just in the last couple of minutes here to the Sports Money Network. Good morning, everybody, and thank you for joining me here as we get ready to go today with our previews and our games. And we'll also, like I said, have the contest here starting today. We'll go over that here in just a couple minutes with the guys, explain it to you, and get ready for our awesome summer contest here with the guys. You pick the homers. here this summer. So it should be a fun event here and see who can pick the most home runs. All right. Let's see here. Also, we got other sports underway here at this hour, including tennis and golf is underway right now as well. We have um, uh, golf here this week at the Travelers, so it's one of those kind of signature events, if you will, here this week. So, gonna maybe we could take a look at the golfers here real quick, just because the uh, golf is underway here right now, so there's just getting started. The golfers, or you could still get in on the futures bets, is what I'm alluding to here, and you still have a couple guys here who are kind of off top. Uh, One golfer is off to a hot start here right now. Tom Hoge here is off to a blazing start. Let me take a look at my golfers, though, here real quick. Let's see if we can get these guys in there and kind of take a look at what I did here this week. And you're welcome to tail along or see what you're doing if you're playing golf here this week. I'm over with Russell Henley there atop the picks for me this week. He's my number one. I got him on the outright. I got him a top 10 pick here at plus 220, but some other great value picks down here as well. I got JT at plus 190. I got Harmon at plus 120. These are JT top 10 plus 190, Harmon at top 20 plus 120. Aaron Rye top 20 plus 110 has been playing well. Ben Griffin top 10 at plus 300 here. And also, let's see here, Keegan Bradley, obviously doing pretty well here of late as well, the top 20 plus 110 at the Travelers Championship here this week. Play underway right now on ESPN app here. So that's a look at the golf this week. Pretty good event here at the River Highlands in Connecticut. So the Travelers Championship this week is the event. Pretty good event coming off last week's big event. So this is a pretty decent one still. Scotty's there. You could play your guys this week in a tournament without Scotty, but Scotty's shown some vulnerability here. He's probably way too low to actually consider at this point. He's not. Great job. I mean, golf is hard. And for Scotty to come as close as he did last week again, I mean, we expect him to win every tournament. But that's not how it works. The fact that he did still, he's kind of the last contender there, kind of to almost chase him down last week there at the Open. So good tournament this week, just underway. You can get involved here. Also, some of the other golfers atop the leaderboard. There's some guys at 1 under here, including Minwoo Lee going on, and also Subaru's up there again. Also, some guys here just on the course, a little bit even par. Cantlay, Eric Cole, Ryan Gerard, Nikolai Højgaard, Bobby Mack in there as well. Some of the golfers just getting out onto the course, and still lots of golfers have not even gone off here yet. So they're really just getting started. Only 72 golfers this week, so got 6 names up there. Seemed like a nice place to arrive at here with the golf this week. All right, and let's see what else is going on here. I'll kind of recap some of the action, let the folks come in here real quick, and we'll say hello to the folks in the chat as we get started. But we got a big night last night, of course, at the NBA draft. I don't know if you have anything to add just from the second round there. Not a big deal, but did see some top names of players go out and get drafted. Bruce Thornton, Ohio State's all-time leading scorer. He's with the Rockets. Richie Saunders, great three-point shooter from BYU. He goes to Memphis. Isaiah Evans, a part of the Duke gang this year. He goes to Minnesota. Clippers took Baba Miller from Cincinnati. He jumps out of the building. Pacers, great pick here for the Pacers. Let's see how it works out. I hope he's not an NBA flop. I don't think he will be. I think we might see Braden Smith of Purdue, great guard, great place to land in Indiana. Might be a little bit of a reach, but man, I like Braden Smith, and Indiana seems like a perfect place for him. Tyler Bilodeau, the UCLA center, goes to the Nets. What about the guys that are getting traded, and they're walking up there and the poor kid's like, I'm traded. And, why give them the hat of the wrong team now? I mean, can't we just fix it if we know where they're going? Can't we just give them the hat of the right team and we don't have to play like this game where we don't know, oh, let's pretend they're not traded yet, even though they're really traded. Let's let the guys know when they're traded. All right, let's tell them where they're going. Also, Jaden Bradley of Arizona, he went to Toronto. Emmanuel Sharp, the great shooter from Houston, he ended up going here to Sacramento. So some of the names there at the NBA draft. Also, Lakers signed Austin Reeves. Remember yesterday I said the Lakers might move down or up just because of the fact that Reeves, they might need to get a different guard here, but no, of course not. Reeves signs for $185 million for 4 years. First year, $41 million, I believe, and they've already said the Lakers have said Cam Carr might be their first guy off the bench here this year. So Boston also, could Jaylen Brown be traded still? We're waiting. And some of those other trades, we talked yesterday, Koa Pete, he ended up going in a trade as the Mavs dealt him to the Suns. And then Pistons also dealt Isaiah Stewart for 3 number 2s, I believe it was, to Memphis. Memphis going to look totally different there next year. They've kind of cleaned house. I guess they're done. As far as what they're doing. So that was some of the action there at the NBA draft last night. All right, let's turn our attention here real quick to yesterday's World Cup action. We got big games today, including the United States playing tonight. Hey, even if it doesn't mean anything, you got to be excited for the United States men's national team to get out there. I don't care if they're not going. Everybody wants to see this team right now, but there's some news there regarding the national team. But all right, let's recap though at the World Cup. Yesterday here with some great games, and it was Switzerland beating Canada there in a bit of a stunner yesterday. Well, Switzerland was favored after all, but they had to work pretty hard. And Canada, man, they had so many chances there in the final minutes, did Canada. It seemed like 5 or 6 big-time scoring chances there in the final minute, but they could not bring it home, and it was Switzerland defeating Canada there 2-1. Also, Bosnia wins over Qatar 3-1. There's Bosnia rolls in that one at the World Cup, and the action is completed here in that group. We'll just let you know, how top 2 teams advance, and then you got the 8 third place teams advance, but some teams are still in or out. When it comes to the current group stage, and if the teams are going to advance or not. So that's kind of the key there as far as at the World Cup. So like we said, some teams are already actually in right now. So right there in that group with Canada and Switzerland. Of course, Switzerland did finish in first. Canada did finish in second, and then Bosnia finished in third. Continue on with the group phase action here, and it was Morocco in a wild one yesterday, 4-2 over Haiti. I was on a show and I had the over as a pick, and the game went over while I was on the air, thanks to 2 goals in 6 minutes by Morocco for a 4-2 win there over Haiti yesterday. Morocco did get a push here, and 2-goal favorite there in that one. But at Brazil over Scotland, they dominated. Vinicius Jr. with 2 goals early, had a 3rd goal voided, becomes the first player to score goals in all 3 group stage matches, they said. And also, for Brazil, did anybody just take these superstars to score 2 goals every time? Now, I don't think it's going to happen once we get to the knockout stage, because I think part of the effect is, you are playing some lesser teams. Scotland had a very nice tournament, and then obviously they had a very nice time here in the United States. They're going to finish in 3rd place. We'll see what happens, but Brazil and Morocco are through there for sure. They're at the World Cup. And then late here, it was Mexico and Czech Republic. Mexico crushed Czech Republic 3-0. Czech Republic, no chance. There in that one, Quinones and Chavez scored 2 goals in 5 minutes, and Mexico wins again. There, we won with the win. Mexico, they were already advancing. Also, South Africa beat South Korea 1-0. They're late in that one. South Africa with the win over South Korea 1-0 there, and a bit of an upset for sure, as South Africa there gets the win. All right, so it looks like, so probably see some teams here. We know who are going to advance. It's going to be teams like, at this point, Scotland. It looks like Scotland is through on on one of the better third place teams. Bosnia Herzegovina. We have to see tonight what happens there in that one. But Switzerland, or let's see, Algeria as a third place, I think. Also, Senegal will probably be a third place. We got to see. We got to go through. We got 2 more days here. But I'm just trying to determine through what we've seen so far, which teams will be the best third place teams. I think the ones that were from yesterday are kind of going to be left out a little bit. So, all right, let's go to Major League Baseball here real quick. Talk about some of the action. Let's talk about the Cubs, how embarrassing the Mets were once again, giving up 10 runs in each end of the doubleheader yesterday. Really, really sad times here for the Mets. Juan Soto looks like he's going to hit the disabled list here sometime today, I would think, unless they're still going to try him. And also, Frankie Lindor, though, is back. In fact, Lindor, I don't know, he's not your big slugger, but maybe he'll be one of your home run guys today. If you are getting ready for the home run contest, and we'll show you more information about that shortly, Bobby Witt Jr. is not in the starting lineup today in that early start here at 12:10 Eastern, 9:10 Pacific. Witt is not in the starting lineup today for the Royals. Pardon me. So a little bit of news here just into the morning steam within the last couple of minutes. Also, other games here in Major League Baseball on Thursday as far as the action are concerned. We talked about those great performances there yesterday, obviously, for the man. Could you believe these Mets right now? What an embarrassment. I can't believe the manager's not fired today. Dansby Swanson, the number 9 hitter, he has 15 RBIs in the Cubs' last 3 games as he rocked yesterday. Cubs made 6 errors in the nightcap. What do you do? I mean, you got this team, Soto, if he's heading the disabled list, the Mets have lost the last 16 games Juan Soto did not play in. So if he doesn't play today, I mean, you've got to fade this team automatically. Soto and Lindor have only played in the same game 9 times this year. So they have the second highest payroll in the majors. And on Tuesday night, of the 9 guys in the Cubs lineup, 7 of them were first-round draft picks. Not only that, the Cubs, struggling to find pitching, as evidenced by today, they went out and traded for David Peterson of the Mets and said, you can't use him, we'll take him. We need pitching. And we know Peterson hasn't been that good, but he'll go over the Cubs, and we'll see what happens with Peterson. He's going to go right into the rotation here probably, despite his mediocre numbers, just because the Cubs themselves are kind of desperate for pitching. They've got the hitting. There's no doubt about that. Okay, anyway, some of the finals here from the action on Wednesday night. Anyway, besides that, we saw the day game there, Marlins over the Rangers here. We had a morning steam winner on the under in that one, Otto Lopez home run there as the Marlins got the win. Also, it was Cleveland over the White Sox yesterday as Khalil Watson hit a 2-run single. Hey, where's Sniz? Are you ready to purchase the Cleveland Guardians? It looks like Blue Owl Capital might be in line to purchase the Guardians. And if so, you can buy Blue Owl Capital stock. Wouldn't you own a part of the Guardians if the Blue Owl Capital Company buys the Cleveland Guardians here? That news was actually just released here, I believe, on the Financial Channel. I saw it here this morning. Red Sox lost to the Rockies. Cole Carrick RBI single in that one, as it was. The Rockies getting the win there. Tampa Bay beat the Royals. Johnny DeLuca home run in that one as the Rays got another one there against the Royals yesterday. Also, Yankees clubbed the Tigers. Paul Goldschmidt became the oldest Yankee in many a year to hit a home run. He had 2 of them in the game. Seattle lost to the Pirates. Ryan O'Hearn, 3 hits and 3 RBI for the Bucks. And that one they smashed them 11-1. That was our premium pick yesterday. We had with the winnable with the win clubs. We had the Pirates there in that one. Phillies beat Washington. Derek Hill, 2-run home run in the 9th inning. The Nats did hit 3 home runs in the loss. We had the Phillies as our premium pick over there at winnable.com as well. Also, Toronto lost to Houston as the Astros basically won on what was a wild pickoff throw there in that one. And it was Milwaukee defeating the Reds. Will Contreras, 2-run home run there in that one. And Cardinals lost to Arizona. Marte, home run there in that one. And late night, it was Giants over the Athletics in that one by the score of 3-1. All right, let's say hello to the folks in the chat, see what you guys are ready to do and ready to talk about, and what are we going to do here on Thursday. Hello to, hey, D. Mahrez in there. Good to see D. Mahrez in there. Bobby Mack is here. Nuke's here today. It's time for the CFL. We might get a pick out of that. Razor, good morning to Razor. Mahrez says, where do you bet? Where do you don't bet? Just have a bunch of books. I think the theme around these parts, D. Mahrez, is to have several books to bet in, if that's what you mean. I'm in Las Vegas, so I'm actually kind of limited to where I can bet, but we find a way around that. And wink, wink, wink. But here in Las Vegas, I just say it because I'm here, trying to be legal. The Stations Casino, Circa Casino, Boomers Casino. I have to use legally the Vegas apps here. I'm in Las Vegas, so good to have you, Mahrez. Here, Razor's ready for U.S. soccer here tonight, and there he is talking about that LaMelo Ball trade there. And Nick Handy's here. He likes Melton to record a win today. How about that? And also a few picks in here from the World Cup. Who is it? Let's see. 9 Legacy ready to go with some World Cup picks. Mexico World Cup, Mexico Norway. I don't know if that means that maybe Mexico to win the World Cup. Jimmy Lambo is here. All right. Yeah, Jimmy, I do kind of want to bring that feature back. I just didn't know if it was I'm glad you like that. We might do that. Thank you, Jimmy. Really appreciate that. I know we tried it for a few shows. Maybe I'm just lazy on my end a little bit, trying to get the show going. All right. Thanks, everybody, there for the great comments. We'll get ready to roll on the show. But first, we're going to take a look at our video from the guys here and let you know how you can win with our home run contest here on the Sports Money Network. Here, let's see. I think we got Jeff today to tell us about the contest.
This is MMA Jeff from the Sports Money Network, here to bring you guys this exciting competition, the Home Run Derby. So here's what you got to do. You got to pick a player to hit a home run every night from June 25th through July 3rd. Most money wins the competition. I'll tell you, this is always an exciting one. I'm looking forward to challenging all of you. And stick around to the end of the video. It's going to bring you to the official page for the picks. Make sure you follow the rules closely. Good luck, everybody. See if you have what it takes to win the Sports Money prize pack.
I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Really appreciate that. And I think we got maybe some of the recommendations we can make here on the show. I'm not going to take anybody away from there, but I want everybody to know maybe some of the best guys here today to hit possible home runs. You do your homework. You guys can pick who you want. I mean, there are some hot names here certainly today. I'd say you can't go wrong with PCA. He's one of the hottest hitters right now here in the major leagues. I mean, how can you turn down a guy like PCA after what he did yesterday? I know this. Francisco Alvarez has hit home runs in 3 straight games. One thing also, like I said, to be concerned with today is make sure you guys in the lineup. It is Thursday. There's some day games out there, but you got other guys in here today, of course, with Kyle Schwarber, Yordan Alvarez, Christian Walker, Kazumo Akamoto, Kerry Carpenter, Corby Carroll, Bryce Harper, George Springer, among the names you can choose, I think, today. You can choose anybody you want, but I'm talking about maybe some of the hotter guys here right now. Also, Matt Shaw, certainly someone you can also consider a little bit of, if you want to go a little bit under the radar. Maybe Ben Rice has been a guy talked about today, Jock Peterson, Michael Bush, Ian Happ, possibly there as well. And like I said, Soto, it does feel like, unfortunately, we haven't heard anything yet, but he could be headed to the disabled list. And I know for one thing, we can't pick Ohtani because the Dodgers aren't playing. But how about the incident there with his catcher? Everybody's talking about it today. The poor guy, the poor catcher. Sometimes the superstar can be wrong. Okay, maybe, but the Dodgers actually have like a psychologist on the bench, and they're like, bring the psychologist over right now. And the poor guy's probably like practically crying there on the bench. Ohtani gives him that look. So it was a little humor with that last night. All right. Okay. Also, WNBA last night. Quickly, let's talk about the games here. And we had our picks here yesterday, obviously, as well. And it was Indiana against Phoenix here. What a wild one. Phoenix got the cover in a wild, high-scoring game. We said Phoenix kind of the team to look at there, but I thought it would be a lower-scoring game. But, of course, Indiana, all their games go over. And Indiana and Phoenix, that was a wild one there last night. Didn't even go to overtime, but it ended up 111-109. Phoenix got the win over Indiana on the road. Also, Minnesota and Washington. Minnesota held off Washington, but Washington continues to play well. Sonia Citron, probably one of the more overlooked players in the league, had another great game. Minnesota just held on. Olivia Miles was the star again, but they didn't cover at all. And Washington there, we did go under there in that one, and yeah, for sure that thing was going under. Maybe it was under first half, but it was a big time under there as Minnesota won it. Chicago also smashed the Portland Fire there yesterday. They're not very good, Chicago, but they did get the win over Expansion Fire. And Golden State shocked Atlanta yesterday. So my picks weren't good here on the show, I know that. 77-66, Golden State gets that win there. Big shocker, big win, nice win. Golden State at home, they're pretty good. All right. I think that's it for the recap there. Tennis action going on here right now as well, but I think we got get ready for the show here and get started there anyway. And let's get rolling because we got to start here with the World Cup today. 6 more games. They're playing them 2 at a time in group play. And let's take a look at some of the matchups here, bring up the odds, get our show started here. Oh, let me real quick. Hey, everyone, you can get more picks from me. And let me at least try to promote myself. More picks from me every day over at winnable.com/Ramon. This is how you get more content from me here each day. I'm here early on, right, giving you picks, and you guys have some great picks too. But I do have some picks that come out with a little more timely manner where it comes to your inbox, your device, your computer, email. You can set any notification you want when you use my picks over at winnable.com. And those come usually 30 to 60 minutes before game time. These are my more solid picks that I've already set aside there. I have my boutique high roller picks over on one of those multi-capper sites every day. Those are absolutely my elite picks for the day. I also have my cover the spread video, which are my top 5 free picks every day. If you subscribe over at winnable.com/Ramon and get the free picks, you're going to get my Cover the Spread show video each day, where I give you my 5 top free picks every day. And also you'll get my premium picks over there and some free picks over at winnable.com. It's just 41 cents a day when you use the promo code STEAM. So if you like what you see here on the Sports Money Network, when I join you live, then please support me here over at winnable.com/Ramon. This is how you support me here on this channel. If everyone canceled their subscriptions tomorrow, I love these guys, but you know what? We'll just get the picks. All right, just get the picks. Get more content from me over there at winnable.com/Ramon. We've already come through with a few good ones. Tennis has been a little up and down here for sure today, but we do got some more plays coming up if you're a subscriber right now. So check it out over at winnable.com. You'll also get my UFC picks every weekend, those golf picks that I showed you as well, and NASCAR picks as well. How about the event in San Diego last week? The NASCAR wants to go back to San Diego. They said the ball is in the court of the Navy. If they want it there, the Navy will have to say yes. So, hey, we did have those premium pick winners, though. Like I said, with the Phillies and the Pirates yesterday as part of my premium pick package. We also had Brazil as a premium pick winner over Scotland yesterday. You can get it sent right to your phone there. Also had some good tennis winners on the ladies' side yesterday with Muchova rocked, and we had Marchenko as well over Kimberly Burrell. On the men's side, we did have J.M. Cerundolo yesterday there as well. So please get the picks from me over at winnable.com/Ramon. It's just 41 cents a day. If you subscribe for $19.95 a month, I'll give you 5 weeks there. It goes down to 38 cents a day. So why not support me if you like this show for 38 cents and help me get some pizzas? Okay? Let's get our graphics together. I think we got some graphics today. I don't know. I talked to the graphics man and said, step it up. You got to have a little bit better for me. So we got, and he failed. I already know he failed because I told him, do not use the real names of the stadium. That's illegal to do right now. They have some legalities, so we might be breaking the law here. I hope Razor and Mike don't get mad. We're using the real names of the stadiums because AI couldn't figure it out, and we got to call it by their city names, you guys. But we didn't have time to fix it. Doesn't matter. Let's go to the World Cup, you guys. Let's start off here with Germany taking on Ecuador. Action here in Group E. In Group E right now, you do have Germany leading the way at 2-0. Ivory Coast, 1 win, 1 loss. Ecuador, 1 draw, 1 loss. And Curacao, 1 draw, 1 loss. So Germany in command, in control here at the World Cup right now. And Germany is favored by 1 goal at -120 here. The total, 3 under 25 here in this one. So Germany should be better than Ecuador here right now. And let me make sure I get this right. Germany is going to be, the better team than Ecuador here, but you got Germany right now in a pretty good position. They've already won 2 games here so far. So far, so good. Germany's already clinched first place. They have every reason to rotate several starters before the knockout stage. Ecuador desperately needs points after failing to score a goal through 2 matches. So they could be into a situation where they know, even against Germany's, 1A unit here, that they're going to be hard-pressed to score. That might make them take a defensive approach and then hope they can get that 1 key goal that they need. And I think that's probably the way they should go. Ecuador, in their last 15 matches, they've gone under 2.5 goals 13 times. And the total here is pretty much 3 under 25 or so right now. Take a peek at this. So, you could take it down a little bit. 3 under 25 for the most part, maybe 3 under 30. here. So even if Germany wins, they have to win by 2 to cover this margin. I think they will. Let me see what you guys think, though, in this one between Germany and Ecuador here at the World Cup today. The total 3 under 25. Can Ecuador, even get a goal here at this point after not even being able to score in the first 2 games right now? Let's see if anybody's playing World Cup soccer with me here today in the chat. No, nobody's. It's getting tough. I know the matches are getting tough. Woke his joke, though. He does have something here. BTTS. And Yaboa over a half a shot on target here. Okay, thank you, Woke his joke. That might be it for the chat all-stars here in this one. Man, I'll have to make the call without him. In this one between Ecuador and Germany today. All right. I'll try the under here with Ecuador and Germany. I mean, Ecuador's not going to score, are they? In Germany, are they going to get 4 goals here? So, it might be 3 on a free roll. If it pushes, it pushes. Robert says Germany first half money line here in this one. And these games are at 4 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific. So, it's kind of a late starting card here. We've got some real late action out west. USA is going to be late night tonight here on the East Coast for sure. It says there all times Eastern, but again, I think the AI screwed that up. I told AI what time the games were, and I said we need Eastern time listed up there, but I think AI is more worried where I live. So these are at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific in Group E. All right, and nothing else from the crew, so let me move on to the next game here anyway. In Group E is going to be Ivory Coast is taking on Curacao in this one. And now Ivory Coast is 1-1-0. They're favored by 2 goals at minus $1.30. Curacao comes in 0-1-1. They do have a draw in there, and the total looks like it's about 3 over 45 here. So they're expecting some goals here. I don't know if Curacao can score against Ivory Coast. Curacao might be. I don't know if they're the bottom team in this tournament here right now. I mean, there's Tunisia's playing today as well. So, but you got to give some credit to Curacao in their scoreless draw with Ecuador. They did lose to Germany. Remember, 7-0. Now, if you want to make the comparison here in Game 3. Because you got Ivory Coast here, they beat Ecuador 1-0. They lost to Germany just 2-1. So there's a big difference here, and that's why Ivory Coast favored by 2 whole goals. I mean, you got to win by 3 here, and if you're going to take Ivory Coast and you can't take the under, it's either or, right? Because Ivory Coast, you got to either 3-0 or less than 3-0. So that is a high number even for Ivory Coast here. They're, a much better team here than Curacao anyway. But I think the concern here is, if you got the total at 3, what are you going to do when it's time to play the side? And, it's either going to be either take the side or the total, because 2-0 doesn't get it home for Ivory Coast, and 3-0 doesn't get you a total either over or under, because it'd be a push there today. So anyways, Ivory Coast simply needs just to win to secure qualification. So I don't know if the motivation will be totally there for Ivory Coast. They should dominate possession. Curacao, remember what Curacao only tied Ecuador there because Eloy Rom, there was no room with Rom in there with 15 saves, one of the greatest performances in World Cup history for a goaltender. We're not exaggerating. I mean, he had 15 saves. It's only been done one other time in the history of the World Cup by the great Tim Howard of the United States. And that's not really a good stat in a way. It's a great stat for him, but asking Curacao and Rom to repeat that effort is just unrealistic. Ivory Coast has played 4 straight 1-goal games in international play. So to have them win a game by 3 might be tough, much less 2 in this game. So yeah, Curaçao's not great, but Ivory Coast would need to really pile it on and win by 3 goals here. And look, I think Curaçao, the Ecuador game does show. I don't think people are putting Ivory Coast in, you think of maybe where Ivory Coast and Ecuador stand in terms of, rating and where they stand against, kind of one another, right? Because there's not a lot. I mean, Ecuador is 29th in the FIFA World Cup rankings. Who's 30th? Ivory Coast. So really, you're talking about Ivory Coast and Ecuador in there are kind of equal teams, right? So why, if Ecuador, sorry guys, if Curacao goes out there and played a scoreless draw against Ecuador, why wouldn't they be able to kind of hang here with Ivory Coast in this one, even at 2 goals, even if Ivory Coast is much the best here? Curaçao's going nowhere. Ivory Coast, like we said, they just need to win. Can they really pound them here? I'm not sure they can. I think 2 goals is worth it for Curacao, and I'll try Curacao here plus 2 goals in this one. It could easily be 2-0 here. It could be 1-0 in this game, quite frankly. Like I said, Curacao was able to hold Ecuador to a scoreless draw, and Ecuador and Ivory Coast are right next to each other in the FIFA World Cup rankings currently. It doesn't mean that one team's better than the other. It just means that the governing body of this tournament and their highly fine-tuned point tally system have those teams right next to each other, and the game was 0-0. So Curacao, they can muck it up here, I think, a little bit, make it a little bit difficult for Ivory Coast. Hey, if this was the Little League World Series, Curacao would probably win the whole thing, but here we go. We got some plays. Curacao under. Robert likes them to get shut out. Wokus Joke says Curacao under in the first half, and Ivory Coast to cover 1.5. He'll take it down there just a little bit. I've listed the line here at 2 minus 130 as kind of the general line because that 1.5 is much higher, but that's a good way to play it. Nuke has Germany and Japan today here as his money line parlay. Thank you to Nuke. He's got Germany in that first game we talked about, and maybe that's a good transition here to our next game because we'll talk about Japan, and Nuke is on it. Thank you, folks. Here. Okay, so that's that. Let's move to Group F right now as Nuke has picked Japan. So let's put that game up there here in Group F, where Netherlands is 1 win and 1 draw. Japan is 1 win and 1 draw. In fact, really the only thing separating them is the Netherlands. Really not much separating them between Netherlands and Japan here right now. Kind of looking ahead to where these teams, kind of stand here, and what will happen between teams like we got to see what happens tonight, obviously. But Japan, I'm just kind of looking ahead here. Should the favorites kind of win, if you will, Japan, they would probably be headed for a matchup possibly with Brazil in the first round of the knockout stage. So that would be interesting. Sweden, even with a loss here, they could get the best third place team, but they would be probably headed up to meet with France next. But that depends. This is still a closely rated game with Japan favored here by a half a goal at minus 115 in this one. And I think that's kind of the overall scenario here for Japan, and talk about, and also, as I mentioned, those 2 teams, right? And you have, after that, Sweden is 1 win and 1 loss, and Tunisia, probably the worst team in the tournament here, numbers wise and statistically, at 0-2 right now, 1 goal for and 9 goals against. So Tunisia probably, I think finishes last in this tournament here. But in this one, Japan looks, of course, they're well organized, right? Of course they are. They also don't give up a lot of quality chances, and that might make life difficult here for Sweden in this one, they seem to play well in the transition as well. Sweden, they must win really to assure going through. A tie's probably going to be okay, but it doesn't guarantee anything. Let's see what happens. Of course, Netherlands is expected to win. So really what it's going to do is kind of going to put Sweden in a position. I think they will be okay, actually, in that third place. A lot has to do with what happens in these final group stage games here. This is only day 2 when they play the 2 at a time. And again, 8 of the third place teams move forward. That's how you get the field of 32. So Japan, they certainly, like I said, they're disciplined, they're fast. They do have some finishers on the team. Sweden's defensive disaster there, if you will, in that game against the Netherlands, it did kind of expose them there pretty much. And if they end up having to chase Japan here, it could spell doom for Sweden. I think Sweden needs to try to make sure the game is 0-0 as long as they can, and then hope that they can get the only goal of the game. So I think they need to tuck it in the back a little bit. But if they feel any pressure at all, then we're going to see that script probably change, especially if Japan gets the lead. Japan beat Tunisia 4-0, and Sweden beat Tunisia 5-1. So, okay, that's a 4-goal difference in both those games and the common opponents. But Japan tied Netherlands 2-2 in that great game in the first round. What happened with Sweden against Netherlands? They lost 5-1. So I think that does kind of favor Japan here a little bit. And we'll see, what type of situation does Japan get into here with Sweden. Sweden is not the Netherlands, right? And we know that Sweden here, yes, they scored 5 against Tunisia, but what can they really do here in this one against this Japan team that really does kind of play it a discipline? It's just a matter of when and if Sweden needs to open up if they fall behind in this one. Like I said, I think they're, keep it close if you're Sweden. I think Sweden looks to get a third. I think they can get a third place finish here, one that will possibly put them through here. But I think you need to probably keep it close. So let's see here in the chat. We've got Robert he has a BTTS in this one. All right. I feel like the over is kind of the popular play, but I have to go under myself in this one. I'm going under here, 2.5 goals with Sweden and Japan. And the other game here in this group is between the Netherlands and Tunisia. Like I said, I think Tunisia probably finishes last here. It's been pretty bad. Netherlands are nearly assured of winning the group. All they got to do is pretty much crush this game like they could. They actually could be resting players rapidly here in the second half. In this one, Tunisia is eliminated. They don't want to get embarrassed here. They've already fired their manager after the first game. This guy's in there. They got to he tried to save him. I don't know what could happen there, but there's not going to be a lot of pressure or intensity, I don't think, for the Netherlands to just go out and blow a team out, although I think they're so much better than Tunisia. I think they'll probably win for fun. I think they could actually get a decisive victory here in this one over Tunisia. Tunisia can't even score. They can't even get a shot off pretty much. Overall, I don't think they will score in this game, and I think it's going to be the Netherlands getting multiple goals here. I think Netherlands could get upwards of a fourth goal maybe in this game. And maybe Tunisia gets one, maybe it's 3-1, but I think Netherlands probably is good to maybe even get this large spread despite the lack of possible urgency. I just think they're that much better. I think Tunisia has been pretty much the worst here overall. So I've got Tunisia not to score a goal here in the game. I'm going for Tunisia to get shut out here. And man, I really think I think the Netherlands, we saw Tunisia already lose a game here, right? 5-1 in one game and 4-0 in the other. Here, and they're basically playing the best team in the group. What are they all? This coach going to all of a sudden show up and do something? If they've lost 5-1 and 4-0, I'd say the chances of them losing 5-0 are probably pretty good here. I think here. Maybe Tunisia can score. I don't know. But I'm going to take Tunisia not to score here in this game. Tunisia team total under here in this one. Under a half a goal for Tunisia here in this one. Okay, let's see if the chat had anything here in this matchup. Here we go. It's a tie for Cash Kane. He thinks Tunisia can hang here. No, he must have been talking about the other game, I think. Let me know, Kate, if I blew that. Woke his joke likes it 3-0 Netherlands, so that'd be a cover. That'd be an under. Bobby Mack says he likes Netherlands at the Asian handicap here at plus Asian handicap first half at plus $1.10 there. So thank you, Robert. Okay, thanks you guys here. Let's keep it moving here at the World Cup. Going to the should be called the San Francisco Bay Area Stadium. There with Paraguay taking on Australia. Really one of the more intriguing matchups of the day here. The closest rated game of all the games here today. Paraguay is favored here, minus $1.60 in the total, 2.5 under 50. I don't list an Asian handicap on my shorthand here. It's a little tough to. I already have enough numbers on the screen. But Australia 1-1-0, Paraguay 1-1-0, and you can compare here the common opponents. Of course, Paraguay lost to the U.S. 4-0. Australia lost to the U.S. 2-0. So maybe Australia had better defense there. Because the thing is, they both Paraguay beat Turkey 2-1, and Australia beat Turkey 2-0. So if anything, Australia has had the better results against the other two opponents than Paraguay here. Now Paraguay is perceived to be the better team, but you gotta like what Australia has done. I just don't know. Like I said, I want to roll with the Western Hemisphere teams. I don't know. Sure, Australia, they're down there in Oceania, but maybe they're kind of more Western Hemisphere than Eastern, kind of where they're at. But I don't know. I feel like Paraguay is still supposed to win. I might be stuck in my old ways here a little bit. If you looked at those results, you'd have to say, why isn't Australia favored? If anything, it's just on reputation, right? Paraguay's the more, established soccer nation here. They probably have a little bit better personnel, although I don't know. I like watching A-League soccer better than I like watching. I don't even watch it very much. Paraguayan soccer. There's not a lot coming across my dial. Like I get that AFL, that A-League match every night during the season. So let's see what you think here in this one. Will there be enough defense in this game? The total's 2 under 50. It's supposed to be 1-0 here, or 0-0, 1-0, or maybe 2-0. Maybe. I mean, this thing is heavily juiced at 2 goals. So this is supposed to be the lowest scoring game of the day. In fact, it's basically saying, 1 goal, maybe 2. Is that really what's going to happen when it comes down to it with these two teams? I think that might be overreaction here a little bit with the defense. I don't want to say it's overreaction with Australia. I mean, if they can, like I said, in the current standings here right now in this group with Australia currently, this is basically you want an elimination game, you got it. Here it is, right here. This is it. This is basically a knockout game. Paraguay must win. Although Australia, they probably get, even if they draw. They probably go through a little bit here. Australia could be meeting in the next round a team like Belgium, possibly, to go through. And we'll see if it works out for Paraguay. They might be on the outside looking in, but they probably could get a best third place role here as long as they don't lose. And they probably could play a team like Germany should they win. So see what you have here in this one. This is, like I said, this feels like a knockout game kind of, but unless Paraguay loses here, if they can get a tie out of it, possibly. This group now is a little bit goofy, and we'll have to see how it shakes out with those other third place teams. But with this situation, both teams on edge, that's, I believe, gonna, that's why it's supposed to be a tense, low scoring game. But usually when you see that, sometimes it gets a little wonky. And at 2 goals with the over there at plus money, oh, man, is it really going to be that ugly here? Australia's recent matches are all pretty much low scoring. There's no doubt about that. Also, Paraguay missing a top offensive player in Almiron for this game, but they still have Enciso. He's certainly capable of making the big play. In fact, I think Enciso may get the big goal in this game for Paraguay. It's almost his star power that kind of has me thinking that Paraguay can still win this game, even though, to me, the statistics of the tournament so far, I think, kind of indicates that Australia is playing a little bit better and that maybe they are the better team. So I'm a little bit torn. Let me go to the chat, see what you guys have here in this one. Okay, here we go. And Robert here is on the under in the first half here. All right. All right. Hey, I'm going over in this one at 2 goals. I just think it's, if it's 1-0, good for them. If it's 2-0, you get the push. If it gets to a third goal, you got plus money. I respect everything that the experts are saying, basically saying this is either a 0-0 game or a 1-0 game, one way or the other. And I might be having some Paraguay regret here right now. And Nuke said it perfectly. I mean, these two teams could be playing just, hey, let's both go through. If we get this draw, we're probably both going through, so let's just go for the draw. I mean, when the draw is favored, and you think about all the draws so far, maybe it's time for the draw here in this one. Good call, Nuki. All right, let's go to the game I think it's still pretty exciting. I know that, yes, the United States does not have anything to play for here. In fact, I'm concerned. Why would you even play Christian Pulisic here in this game? Now, okay, he feels like he's healthy. If you're a young player like Pulisic, you probably want to play in every game you can at the World Cup. You don't want to sit out of the World Cup, even if it was a game that your team, but you should. You should not play in this game. The United States should not play. This guy's been on his own practice pitch for 2 weeks, working out by himself because he barely can work out his leg. And then all of a sudden, here he is, okay, just days later and ready. Maybe that's how it works with a pulled hamstring. And I just would never chance it. I mean, why would you do that? Now, they also said Balogun is also out of this game. The U.S. is going to be resting everybody out. Resting Balogun. Why would you play Pulisic in this game? So this is a classic dead rubber scenario for those of you old World Cup fans. That's what we used to call it, the dead rubber, and they still call it that, the dead rubber scenario here. The United States have already won the group. You've got Pulisic nursing that, I think it's a hamstring calf issue, and the squad rotation highly likely in this game for the United States. Turkey have been disappointing. They have been one of the biggest disappointments in this tournament, no doubt about it. We saw Mexico win at home with a reduced squad and looked absolutely terrific. The U.S. could do the same thing again here with Turkey, even without these guys right now. They're playing that well. Motivation certainly favors Turkey here. Like I said, in the standings, Turkey, they're in last place. They're doomed. They are not going anywhere. So they are, playing for pride here. And when you come in here and beat the United States, I think that's motivation enough kind of for Turkey. I just don't think they're, I think the U.S. is playing that well. And they might be able to do it again here. So let's see what you have. But 2.5 goals at under 40 here. This feels more like, especially if just maybe Pulisic will sit. Maybe I'm just making much ado about nothing. But the way they've been talking, he's in tonight. He's in. I can't figure out sometimes sometimes people not thinking long term. If he gets hurt, I don't need to say anything because, of course, they'll say it on the shows. Okay, Public Enemy, Australia there in the game against Paraguay. Public Enemy is on Turkey here. Nuke says the Turks are playing dirty out there. You don't want to get your guy hurt. Robert's on USA Moneyline. I can't disagree with that. I think they still win again, but I think that this one, I hope that they don't play Pulisic, I got to be honest, and they might still do it. And if it does, maybe it will go over. But I'm going to take under here in the first half with United States and Turkey. And hey, I want him to play too. If he's 100%, and there looks like no chance you're getting hurt out here, but this is the one. The United States are even in the World Cup, but nobody can convince you right now that they don't have this weird mojo chance of doing it with all these teams, and some of the results are coming down. The U.S. playing incredible, unlike we've ever seen before here. So, look, you got to give this team, you got to rest him, man. You got to rest him. But I'll just play it under. Figure the U.S. plays conservative. They're already planning on rotating guys out of this game. So I'm going under here in the first half with Turkey and the U.S. in this one. Give me the under here. First half. Under one goal is plus $1.30, but under 1.5 is minus $1.85. So probably Asian handicap line at minus 1.25. But I'm going to go ahead and lay under 1.5 here on the show because it's United States game. I want to win. So I'll lay $1.85 here and go under 1.5 in the first half here. Okay. And Nuke says, look, they would be well favored in this game if it were under pressure here. So we could see kind of like the last game, maybe even a tie here with Turkey. But look, Mexico looked so good, didn't they, in their game yesterday? And they were not playing for anything either, and they beat a good team. Switzerland beat Canada. Turkey could do the same. I don't know, Woka's joke. I don't think you can compare right now. The United States was much better than Canada in this tournament. Like I said, I'd rather compare the game to last night's game with Mexico and how they ended up with a 3-0 victory over a pretty decent Czech Republic, over a Czechia team. USA three-way money line for Johnny. I think USA still probably ends up winning this game, and they only have to cover a half a goal. And I think they could do it without their two big offensive stars. But it might only be, 1-0. I don't know if it'll get to 2-1. Okay, thanks a lot. You guys enjoy the World Cup today and more great games here. And before you know it, in 3 more days, we'll be out of the group stage and into the knockout stage here. And I've already looked ahead. I mean, you can already pick out some of these knockout stage games that are pretty good here. You got to see how it comes down. There's still some things to be decided. Canada probably still going to go through. They could be playing a team like South Africa, believe it or not. And also, you could have some other great games. How about Netherlands and Morocco? Could be on a collision course in the round of 32. Also, Ivory Coast and Norway could be a matchup I've looked ahead to here. England and Congo. Mexico could be up against Scotland. The United States, I believe their most likely opponent. Now, I look at one of those sites that kind of projects the teams, and just looking at it is if all the favorites won from here on out, say the exactly what was supposed to happen does happen, the United States would likely play Bosnia as a third place qualifier in the third round. So other games, possibilities, Egypt and Czechia, Spain and Austria, pretty interesting, Colombia and Croatia, Argentina and Uruguay as well. A little bit of a bummer now, the way it's set up is I said, hey, I've got Argentina, I've got Brazil as my top 2 plays, but they would end up facing one another in the end, or not in the end, but Argentina would end up facing Brazil in the semifinals, possibly. the way it shakes out. If you really want to look ahead to like all the way through, if all the favorites did win, so the United States would end up playing possibly Egypt, a team like Egypt in the round of 16. You can kind of generalize it. And then in the quarterfinals, they'd be up against probably a team such as Spain. So wouldn't that be awesome? Okay, a great time at the World Cup. Again, that's if all the favorites win. We're not saying that's going to happen or anything like that. Let's take a look at baseball today. We've got an abbreviated card, including some day games, which, hey, we're going to have the guys here in just a short while, in about 80 minutes with bases loaded. They'll preview all the games, and it's important today because that first game goes off at 12:10 Eastern, 9:10 Pacific. So Mikey and Sharky will be here to kind of go over the action today with those day games. I would say it's more important there in the day games, and maybe also get you some more clues to who to pick here with the home runs today. There, I think I covered most of the guys I think who are probably the best home run possibilities today. So you can go back and rewind it if you want there. Let's go to the action here right now in the Major League. We can actually read the graphic today. And let's get moving here and start with that first game up with the Royals and Lugo against the Rays and Legumina. That's kind of like that game yesterday when we had Manaya and Imanaga. Let's get rolling here on the major leagues. Today with the Royals on the road here, and Tampa Bay came back and won yesterday after the Royals won the first two games of the series, but Tampa was able to get the win. And this is a 4-game series, so they could salvage a split here in this one. The Royals actually looked pretty good in those first two games, beating Tampa, which was amazing because the Royals, they're 15-25 on the road. A little over 40%, I guess, there. And Tampa Bay, 27-12 at home. But the Royals won the first two games, but Tampa yesterday got the win, 5-3. Now, this is kind of a bullpen game here with Legumina here pitching in this one. Does make it a little bit Lugo probably the better option, right, of these two pitchers, that's for sure. But Legumina is just an opener. Ian Seymour is the actual bulk pitcher here. He's been a solid arm in his bulk appearances. He's given up runs, and his control's been a bit of an issue here of late. The Royals have plenty of right-handed hitters to kind of exploit splits. Legumina is a right-hander, and then Ian Seymour comes in. He's a left-hander, and the Royals have plenty of right-handed hitters. All those bats have looked good lately. They have five-plus hits in 5 straight games versus starting left-handers, 6 hits in 4 of those games. Lugo just hasn't looked like he did earlier this season. Still a good ERA, 3.69, 1.35 whip, but so far it's gone down a little bit, especially his K rate down to 10% over his last 3 starts, and his whiff rate is trending lower here right now. Sharpie could probably tell us more about that, but look, his whip is kind of higher against much higher against left-handers here a little bit, and I don't know. The pens are pretty clear here. You get Tampa Bay in these games. I know they lost the first 2, but it just seems like they're so good at home. And I'm not saying the Royals got lucky or anything, but almost like the law of averages here a little bit. Tampa's still 11 games over 500, and the Royals are 13 games under 500. And this is a tough place to play, but Kansas City's had a pretty good trip winning 2 of 3 so far. So I don't think I want them, though. I don't know. I would think here that anytime you get the Rays here in this situation, it might still be worth it to try them. But they are a little bit of a favorite here, $1.40 here right now. Yeah, $1.40, total 8, maybe 8 over 15 here in this one. So Kansas City here with Lugo. Let's see what you guys have in this one. Rays are so good at home, I know, but let's see here. Go to the chat all-stars. here in this one. Kansas City's won 5 of their last 7, but Tampa's lost 8 of 12. 9 of the last 13 meetings between these two teams have gone under, although Kansas City's gone over in 5 of their last 6. Let's see what the chat's saying in baseball today. Robert's going under here, and Cash King says Royals first 5 on the money line. All right, I'm going to go under in the first 5, actually, in this game here with the Royals and the Rays. Let me go under here, first 5. I think this game is starting to move a little bit lower here. It definitely feels like the move has been to the under here. So I'm going to go under 4.5 in the first 5 with Kansas City and Tampa Bay. And here's Public Enemy. He likes the game to go under as well. Next up, the Mariners at the Pirates. This one at 12:35 Eastern, 5:35 Pacific with Bryce Miller. Goes here for the Mariners. Look, he's a pretty substantial favorite here, $1.45, $1.50 or so. He's been awesome. 1.57 ERA, 3-1 record since returning from injury to join the rotation. He's been one of the best pitchers in the league here with his short stint here anyway. Got to prove it a little longer. Probably going to get some regression somewhere down the line, but so far so good for Miller. For Bubba Chandler, he's 2-7 with a 4.62 ERA and 1.38 WHIP. Like I've said, he's been learning on the job, and lots of potential for Bubba Chandler. I don't think anybody's denying that, but could be a little bit overmatched still here against Bryce Miller right now. Now, Seattle had been dominating this series between the two, but Mariners got crushed yesterday, 11-1, as the Pirates still, with that decent offense, was able to get off yesterday and get the win here after the Mariners won the first one. Both teams have won 2 of 3. 2 of their last 3 games coming in. Pittsburgh still a 500 club. Seattle's just a 41-40, a half a game better than them in the overall records. So pretty even matchup, but I'm sure the odds here are more reflective of Miller's numbers here, that he's a favorite because of his solid numbers against Bubba Chandler here anyway. Maybe the bullpen here too, because you do have this Seattle team that, probably top 6 bullpen here right now. Pittsburgh, they're probably closer to the bottom 10 or bottom 12 in the bullpen here anyway. So let's see what's going on in the chat with this one. Seattle taking on Pittsburgh. Miller's been very, very solid, of course. Mariners have won 5 of the last 6 meetings with Pittsburgh now after winning previously 5 straight against them. Chandler definitely has the ability to, come up with a pretty good start. I think, with his potential, we're going to see sometimes he is going to excel and achieve. Right now, 11 of Pittsburgh's last 14 home games have gone over. Seattle's gone over in 5 of their last 6 on the road. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams here have gone over, although 4 of the last 5 between the two have gone under here in this one. Let's see what the chat has to say here with this one between Seattle and Pittsburgh here on a Thursday. In the chat here, it's going to be Woka's joke, says Seattle money line and under. And Public Enemy likes the Mariners, Pirates first 5 under here. Also, Johnny Walker says Seattle first 5 run line. And Roberts on Seattle here too. It does seem like pretty good matchup today for Seattle in this one. I'll take the under here with the Mariners and the Pirates today. Give me the under in this one. Next up, the A's are on the road taking on the Giants. Another getaway day game here at 3:45 Eastern, 12:45 Pacific for the Athletics. Got Jeffrey Springs here. Springs, 5.55 ERA. The A's have lost 4 in a row. Springs is 3-7 with a 1.35 WHIP. For Landon Pride Night Roop, he's Comes in here with a 5-7 record, 4.14 ERA, and a 1.29 WHIP. For all the hype around Roop when he got off to a good start, he certainly hasn't really done very well since then. Seems like he's kind of trending down a little bit. But the Giants have looked pretty awesome here in the pitching department for once. We talk about their offense, but they won the first 2 games here of this series 3-1 and 2-1. Now, this is a day game. Maybe things will be different here in Oracle today, but I don't know if it will. Roop still could have a pretty solid game if the A's bats are kind of in a little bit of a meltdown here of late. We know how strong the A's can be offensively. And, hey, don't forget, the Giants here are still hot in many categories. Fourth in batting average, third in hits. We've talked about it. And the Athletics, they're still 6th in home runs, 10th in hits. So good offenses here for sure. But it doesn't feel like in this one. I would think we're going to get a low-scoring game again. It was 2-1, 3-1 yesterday. I think it'll be the same here today. I'm going to go under in the first 5 in this one before I even go to the chat here. I'm ready to go with this game. Give me under first 5 here at 4.5 at minus $1.25. And we'll see what you guys have here with this game between the Giants and the A's. Giants favored, like I said, $1.30 here. They won the first 2. Record-wise here, there's not a lot separating them now. The Giants have been kind of coming back. Still 13 games under 500, but they've been picking it up. I guess there is a lot separating them still. The A's are 4 games under. So, yeah, that is a big margin, actually. But let's see what the chat says here. It's going to be 9 legacy here. Pirates money line, Athletics money line, Royals on the money line. Hello to Trevor Davis today. Hi, Trevor. Seattle money. Robert's on the Giants here. And Public Enemies on the Giants as well. AOD's in the chat. All right, just give me under first 5 here. We'll see, man. The A's might have they said here, is this rivalry over between the A's and the Giants? I don't know if it'll ever be over. They're always going to be tied together. In Las Vegas, hey, maybe Las Vegas has stolen the Raiders. They've stolen the A's, but hey, it's only a short plane ride. One thing about the Raiders, right? Hey, you can still come from L.A. and root for your old Raiders. You can come from Oakland and root for the Raiders. So maybe the A's will still have a soft spot on the East Bay. They'll always I don't know, maybe people will disown them. And they, like I said, they're already in West Sacramento. Okay, let's keep it moving here right now. Morning Steam Show. Next up, it's going to be the Astros with Tatsuro Imai. Goes up here against the Tigers and Trey Melton. Man, Trey Melton's had some nice numbers here so far. Could he be a find here for the Tigers? 2.55 ERA and a 4-0 record so far and a .95 WHIP for Melton. Tatsuro Imai, 6.14 ERA. He's never gotten it going, it seems like. 1.44 WHIP, 4-4 record. But there's no doubt here. Houston has won the last 2 games of the series here, 4-2 and 4-2 after the first game was 9-3 in favor of the Tigers. So this is the 4th game of the series here right now. And like I said, Melton with these good numbers here and, pretty cheap here right now. Look, the Tigers, like I said, it feels like the Tigers are starting to go. Now, they have lost these 2 games here to Houston, which is kind of a good sign for Houston, too. They're trying to float to the 500 level as well, 39 and 43. Detroit's still 12 games under 500, and we've been saying they need to go now. And every time we say that, here comes 2 more losses, it seems like right now. But Melton, pretty good here. He feels like the right option here against Imai. Maybe Houston has their number a little bit, but it doesn't seem like that. Imai definitely is statistically not the match for Melton in this one. So let's see what you have. Houston's had lost 5 straight to Detroit before they won these last 2 games, and Detroit had their 4-game winning streak snapped when Houston came in here. Well, they won 1 and then stopped them with 2 consecutive losses. Detroit's gone under in 7 of their last 8 games, including 5 of their last 6 games at home here. Let's see what you think with this one. Houston taking on Detroit here in Detroit today. Melton looks good, but Houston's been playing just a little bit better enough, and maybe that offensive depth. Let's see here what the lineup says too. This is a night game, so we don't quite know yet, but again, maybe let me check the injury list here anyway. Okay, no, it looks pretty clean here, actually, in this one. As far as Tatsuro Imai, I would say that his metrics, if you look at the BABIP, if you look at the metric sites, baseball savant sites, I believe Imai's numbers are almost considerably better than his 6.14 ERA, but that's not saying much. Detroit's been staying under recently for sure here. Right now, they've gone under in 8 of their last 10 games overall. 2 capable bullpens here now. We used to not say that about Houston, but they've kind of got it in gear. Yes, they're still in the bottom 10, but considering where they were, that's because the numbers have been increasing here dramatically of late. Detroit, they're probably middle of the road as far as the bullpen is concerned. Okay, let's see what the chat's going with. We've got here Public Enemy on the Tigers money line, Robert's on the Astros money line. 9 Legacy Astros, Cash King Tigers. Well, what are you going to do? It looks like we're completely split down the middle on this one. All right. Well, I don't want to be the tiebreaker. I might go to the total here with these two. I'm going to go with the under. I'm going with the under in this one. Houston and Detroit. Next up, the Phillies are on the road taking on the Nationals. You got Christopher Sanchez going here, 1.8 ERA, 9-3 record, 109 whip. Sanchez among the best here. Cade Cavalli, 4.07 ERA, 4-4 record, 1.46 whip. Not perfect numbers, but this guy looks like he's going to be, I think he'll be around for a while. It looks like a pretty good pitcher here for the Nats. I'm just going to help him in this game, but it's been serviceable, and he's been all right here. Phillies, after dropping the opener here, or let's see, after dropping the opener here 4-1, lost 14-9 and 5-4 in the next 2 games. So we've seen plenty of runs there in the series in the last 2 games. The first game was 4-1. It feels like all these games should go over, but probably not with Sanchez in there. Probably be able to deal here in this one. So I don't know if you'll need much of a preview from me with Sanchez out there. He's only one of the most reliable starters out there. And if anything, I've kind of covered it with Cavalli. I think he has potential, but, could be vulnerable against this Phillies offense coming in. Still, the interesting numbers on the totals here. Washington, 27-12 to the over at home. But the Phillies are 13-24 to the under on the road here. And we know Washington has the far better offense statistically than Philadelphia. Can Philadelphia bomb some home runs and, prove that all wrong anytime, every time? Sure. No doubt about it. But Philadelphia can obviously, with Sanchez in there, turn it into a different type of game, I think, in this one. Maybe even cover the run line while the pitching duel kind of develops here. Cavalli could actually be maybe solid in this game. So let's see what the chat, though, has to say in this one as Philadelphia takes on Washington here, division matchup here. And Philly's gone under in 13 of their last 17 on the road. Washington's gone under in 6 of their last 7 overall. Although, like I said, they've gone over in 13 of their last 19 at home. But the under trend is coming in kind of here of late. Phillies have won 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two, and Washington's actually lost 5 of 7 coming in. This feels like Philadelphia is starting to do the job here a little bit. And when they've got a team that, they pretty much won a lot of games against Washington over this great run that the Phillies are on. It feels kind of like Washington's kind of been a whipping post a little bit for them here. Let's see what you got. Cash Kane on the Phillies on the run line. Here's Kane also on the under. Robert, those going to try the Nats. First 5 here with Cavalli. Good price anyway. Public Enemy, Phillies on the run line. Johnny Walker says he's got a Nerfy in this one. All right. I got to go under in the first 5 here with these two pitchers. Yeah, I agree. I think I like Cavalli. I think, potential here. Final. Phillies lineup, not great. They're still, still winning games here right now. The thing is with Philly now 8 games over 500. Seems like they're just so consistent. Win 2, lose 1, win 2, lose 1, win 2, lose 1 right now, and that'll take you all the way to the World Series pretty much. 9 Legacy says Nationals here on the money line. All right, we're making good time here, and we're just an hour away from bases loaded with Mikey and Sharky here, but I've got a few more games on the card here to discuss. And next up, the Rangers are going to take on the Blue Jays. Mackenzie Gore goes here against Gausman for the Blue Jays. Kevin Gausman here, favored $1.50 in this one. Gausman a 4.05 ERA, 4-5 record coming in, and a 1.13 WHIP. For Mackenzie Gore, 4.07 ERA, 4-6 record, 1.3 WHIP. Gore, good solid outings here a little bit. Both guys just 4 wins on the season here so far. Do have, like I said, Gausman pretty stiff favorite here in this one. Blue Jays aren't really playing that well here. Yes, they do have a little bit better record than Texas right now. Toronto just 2 games under 500, and Texas, meanwhile, currently 4 games under 500. Both teams come in with a pair of losses. This is the first game of this particular series here. Toronto comes in off of that series at home against Houston, where they did lose the last two games there against Houston. Texas, meanwhile, lost the last 2 games in their road trip down there at Miami, and they're still on the road here against Toronto. So let's see what you think in this one with Texas and Toronto. Both pitchers definitely have swing and miss capabilities, but neither guy has been particularly overwhelmingly sharp. Texas is definitely trending over more on the road of late. But, I think here with the total of just 7.5, maybe these offenses can get it moving here in this one. I thought that did look a little bit low. Is it 8 now, though? 8 under 20. And what do I have on the screen here? 8 under 20. So, yeah, it's going up a little bit. But, man, I don't know. I think the offenses kind of rule the roost here a little bit. Boy, that Blue Jays number is a little bit hefty here, I think, right now. Let's see if the chat can help me out. Here's Blue Jays money line for Cash Kane. Public Enemy also on the Blue Jays, and I'm on a roll. I'm like butter because I'm on a roll. All right, I don't know if I'm on a roll on this game necessarily with the Rangers here. Like I said, I'd probably just ride with the offenses, but man, that $50 for this, for this matchup here. I mean, it's $1.50 all over here right now. And yeah, Gausman is probably the, better starter of the 2. I get all that, but as far as Toronto, Toronto is concerned, 12-8 against left-handed starters here, but man, that's a high price. All right, well, maybe I can look at the run line here a little bit. The Rangers price on the run line give me the Rangers here on the money line. This is one I came in a little bit unsure here, but I'm going to take the Rangers at plus $1.25. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Nerfy here for Johnny, and 9 Legacy says Texas run line and under. All right. Oh boy. Next up, the Cubs and the Mets. I'll just take the Cubs to win by 10. Or the Cubs to score 10. How's that? What a situation with these Mets, right? Who in their right mind is going to find a way to on the Mets here? I guess there's a possibility that this is their game a little bit, right? Maybe the Mets here, Peralta on the mound. No word on Soto yet, but like I said, to me it feels like the decision's got to be made today here, and I would imagine by game time, I feel like Soto's going to be on the injured list. Right now, he is listed as questionable here for today's game with that back problem. Maybe it will feel better here. Here now, Matt Boyd gets the start here. He comes in he's been out for about almost a month, maybe 7 weeks here right now with a knee problem. So it wasn't an arm problem. He had a knee injury, did Boyd. So that is important, but whether or not it limits him here or not, I mean, the numbers aren't great for Matt Boyd. I mean, he's got a 6 ERA, 2-1 record, but a 1.29 WHIP. Doesn't have a lot of innings here so far this season, but he's returning from injury. Looked good in his rehab there. So, look, he had a 31% K rate and a 6% walk rate in his starts prior. Mets have dropped 5 straight. Mets don't win without Soto. Here, what did we say? What did they 19 losses in a row? What did it say? Something crazy like that. They've been pretty bad against left-handed pitching, but did have the home runs off of Imanaga. There's no doubt, but Imanaga was serving them up. Peralta's coming off his worst start of the season. He gave up 10 earned runs in 2 2/3 innings and has been pretty inconsistent. A lot of hard contact in there. Last 3 starts, he's got an 11 ERA and a 14 FIP and a 1.76 WHIP. So Peralta has not been good. Could the Cubs be headed for another big one here today? Oh my! Don't make me laugh here. I got a little cough, all right? Cubs offense right now, no team is hotter. Again, they're inconsistent, sure, but right now they're smoking. Dansby Swanson had the monster day yesterday. Right now they've been dominating over the last week. Huge numbers here. Doesn't hurt when they're playing the Mets here right now. And I don't know, you had to be crazy not to go with the Cubs here somehow, it feels like. They're a dog in this game. Actually, the Big B has moved them to a favorite a little bit. Maybe this is getting close to a pick 'em here right now because everyone's feeling it. All right, here we go. Poor Mets. Did they fire the manager yet? Are they going to fire the manager? Roberts on the Cubs. Nine Legacy says today is the day. Come on, the Mets, they can't lose them all. Hap for the homer, says Cash Kane, and Public Enemies on the Cubs on the run line. I got to roll with the Cubs here in this one. Give me the Cubs. I mean, come on. The Mets here, this is go against them until I don't know. I'm going Cubs. All right, that was easy. All right, we got a couple more here, though, real quick. We got good matchup here, of course, Yankees, Red Sox, but also 2 good young pitchers. Now, yes, Cam Schlittler has been dominating here, but Connerly Early is a good-looking pitcher, no doubt about it. And this number has definitely gone down here, probably to $1.45 or so. Pretty big move on the Red Sox, actually. I would think we're going to see some decent pitching here from Early as well. I think this matchup is just fine for a guy like Connerly Early. Sure, the Red Sox, are they very good at home? No, they suck at home. And the Yankees coming in here, a couple wins in a row here right now for the Yankees as they were able to knock off the Tigers and win that series on the road. Boston lost at Colorado, lost the series at Colorado there. They're a dismal 12-25 at home this season. We know how terrible they've been. And I don't know, Schlittler should be able to dominate here, but I think these 2 pitchers will be pretty sharp early. I play on words there. But Early looks like a pretty good prospect. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take for him right now. His numbers here currently for early 3.63 ERA, 6-5 record, 1.27 whip. Red Sox have had their problems offensively here for the most part, right? And that's been kind of their bugaboo at home. So Schlittler could come in and deal here. I'm probably just going to go under in the first 5. But I think the Red Sox compete early and then probably blow it late. And I think the Yankees could actually end up maybe even getting that run line win. I want to give the Red Sox a chance early to stay in this game. Quit saying the word early when early's pitching. That makes no sense. So see what you got here. But I think for me, I want to go under in the first 5 in this one with the Yankees and the Red Sox here at 4 runs at minus $1.30 here. I'm going to go under first 5. I think Connerly early pitches very, very well here and is able to match Schlittler. And I believe that the Yankees will probably pull away, maybe even get that run line win in the end. But, hey, it's about even money, I think, right, for the Yankees run line here. Schlittler, 1.71 ERA. Boston's dropped 7 of their last 10. Early pitches well, keeps them competitive, but the Yankees here, probably the better bullpen as well. New York has dominated the series recently between the two teams again. They've won 6 of the last 7 games overall between the two teams. 7 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams have gone under as well. Yankees have won 8 of their last 10 on the road. Boston's dropped 7 of their last 10 overall and 4 of their last 5 games at home. And you don't need any motivation when it comes to the Red Sox and the Yankees. Cash Kane says Yankees money line, jazzed at homer. Robert Doe says Yankees Red Sox first 5 to hang in there. And Public Enemy says Yankees on the money line in this one. Getting a little bit of a discount. You're definitely getting a discount. If you like your Yankees on a discount, you are getting a discount today. This game was, I believe, as high as $1.58 was the highest price I've seen. And right now I'm seeing price here as low as $1.36 here at the South Point in Las Vegas. So, but as much as a 20-cent discount, it does feel like there for the Yankees today, if you like it that way. All right, we got here one more, and we're going out to St. Louis and Busch with Arizona and Zach Gallen taking on St. Louis and Mike McGreevy here. For Zach Gallen, 6.1 ERA, 3-6 record. Let the record show that, I believe, if I can read it right on the baseball Saban and all that, the Gallen's numbers are a little bit better than a 6 ERA. Well, I guess it's hard not to have good numbers there. I kind of want to take the Diamondbacks in this game, only because they've won the last 2 games here against St. Louis, and I feel like they have a little bit of momentum on them in this series. They won 4-3 in Game 2 and 9-4 in Game 3 yesterday. The Cardinals did win the first game of the series 3-2. This is a 4-game set. Cardinals are terrific, 13-7 as a favorite here. But, man, Arizona's done a nice job in these 2 games. They scored 9 runs yesterday. Man, I almost want to take Zach Gallen here and go with a little bit of an upset today, to be honest with you. Maybe the chat can talk me off of it, but I don't know if they can. I'm going to take I'm going to go with a little bit of an upset here. I'm taking the Diamondbacks today on the road. I know it's Zach Gallen day. Look, I like McGreevy. I've said that several times. 3.34 ERA, but a 3-6 record, 1.15 whip. Are we going to get? Maybe we will get a little bit of pitching here in this one. Could we see a Gallen here be a little bit sharp early? I know nobody likes him, but I think this game, Arizona's won the last 2 against him here. I think Gallen can have a better start. I don't know if we even have the stats or trends to prove it here in this one. It might be a little bit of a hunch play. Arizona's won 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams. 5 of the last 7 meetings between the two teams have gone under. Arizona's gone under in 7 of their last 8 on the road. Arizona's gone under in 10 of their last 14. The Cardinals have gone under in 6 of their last 7 at home. feels like it could be a little bit of good pitching in here, and maybe, just maybe, the Diamondbacks can get stay in this game a little bit. Maybe they will get the offense. Marte looks like he's got it going here right now. Arizona still, bullpen does leave a little something to be desired right now, kind of middle of the road here, while same thing for St. Louis. So if anything, I mean, these two bullpens are right next to each other in the stats here a little bit. Okay, here we go. Nine Legacy is going to be with me on the Diamondbacks, but Public Enemy is going to take the Cards. All right, I'm trying a little upset there tonight with the Diamondbacks. Okay, let's go to the W tonight. We've got 3 games in the WNBA. And we'll take a look at those here right now. Okay, 3 games in the WNBA tonight. Now, we got big news here. And by the way, these times are wrong again. I told them we need AI is going to kill us, because the AI will tell us the bombs are coming in and it'll be 3 hours off. Okay, here we go. Big news here with the first one, though. Sparks and Tempo. This is the big news of the day here in the WNBA. Kelsey Plum is going to be out for 4 weeks with an injury here in this one. And this spread has taken a big-time turn. LA was going to be favored here on the road in this game, probably by a few points. But that has changed, and now Toronto is the favorite here by a point or two. Right now I'm showing it down to a pick. Actually, the send out with Plum in the lineup was going to be -4.5 for LA on the road, but we're dealing with a pick 'em here now. Now Toronto moved to 1.5 or 2. There's actually been buyback here on LA here in this one. I don't know why. I think this is going to be. I think having no Plum changes Los Angeles completely. I believe she is a heart and soul player that has kind of kept Los Angeles as good as they are now. And Gumake, she hit that game-winning shot the other night. Hey, that was awesome. But without Plum in this lineup, I think she is one of the most important players to her team overall. When it comes to these WNBA teams, I think Plum is one of the most important players, and I think missing her is going to be a huge loss here tonight and for the next 4 weeks. I think is what they said for Plum right now with this leg injury. So not good timing, because LA is only a 500 team here right now. Toronto is 8-9 coming in. Toronto is actually starting to slump here a little bit from what they were doing. They just lost to Atlanta, although they did cover the spread. They also beat Connecticut. Toronto 10-7 against the spread overall. They're 4-3 at home. LA an impressive 5-2 straight up on the road. So look, like I said, there is some play here on LA. Toronto had gone up to as much as a 1-point favorite in this one. But for me, I think, like I said, Plum makes such a difference here. Toronto is an up-tempo team. I hate saying tempo when the Toronto Tempo is playing. Toronto is a high-paced team here, one of the best offenses in the league, and they've gone over in 8 of their last 10 right now. LA is a total over team too. These two teams are combined 23-10 to the over. But I think without Kelsey Plum and being on the road, I believe that it will not be, even though Toronto is still that high-paced team. I'll note that Toronto at home is 3 overs and 4 unders at home this season, and I think without Plum here, I think this goes under big time, actually, at 180 here. With Plum, it would have been about 185.5. But without her, it's about 180, and I don't think they're going to get that. I think it'll be in the low 170s here when this game is all said and done. I'm actually taking the under here as my play. I think it goes well under here. Plum is, if you watch them, you watch those Sparks games, there's a reason why they have so many high score, why LA is a high-paced team with, definitely consistent overs. Toronto, like I said, On the road, they're 9-1 to the over, but at home they're 3-4 to the under. Probably, better a little bit better defense here, and without Plum, I think it's a big deal. Here we go. Tempo on the money line says 9 Legacy. Cash Game likes the tempo. Robert says he'll take the Sparks, though, to fight through this in the first half and get it done. These two teams have already met twice this season. LA won 106-96 and 99-95. So both games went well over the total when they played in LA. Toronto actually won the second game. It was Toronto that won 106-96 there. Both games were played in a two games in 3 day span back in May. Oops. Did I have the wrong? Oh, shoot. There we go. There's a Sparks and tempo. Sorry about that. But I'll leave that up there for another second or two here. But I'm going under in this one. I kind of want to go under first half too, but I'll just leave it there at the under with the Sparks and the tempo tonight. Next up, we got the game of the night with the Wings taking on the Aces. Look at the Wings. They're 11-6. Las Vegas is 12-5. So, hey, great job drafting here by Dallas. They knew what they were doing. It seems like they're taking on the Aces here. Dallas has won 2 straight games over Chicago and Seattle. They didn't cover in those games. In fact, they failed to cover 3 straight games right now. So they're starting to get a good reputation here a little bit. Now, the Aces are 2-5 against the spread at home, but I don't know. I don't know if the matchup is quite there for Dallas. I think this is a matchup problem in this game for Dallas. I think that's where the problem lies here. Now, I think Dallas is probably going to be pretty popular because they're playing so well, but Beckers against Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea Gray. I mean, Paige Beckers is great. I'm sure she can have a fine game here. But on the road against Chelsea Gray, I would think Beckers would have a below average game for sure. And for Jessica Shepard against Asia Wilson, that's a big time problem here as well, I think. And also for Aziz Bud. I think now Arike here probably can have a pretty good game. I mean, Jackie Young's nothing special defensively here, but man, Dallas has been playing so well. Let me see the injury report, though. There are some injuries here. Alana Smith out for Dallas. Odyssey Sims out for Dallas. So you're missing their Sims, a solid guard. She played with every team now, I think. Alana Smith, obviously a big deal there also. Alicia Clark is probable. For the Aces here, you've got Barker out. Carter is out as well. Evans is doubtful here. I just think this one kind of feels like it shapes up for Las Vegas here, actually, in this one. I'm taking Vegas in the first half. I'm going to take the Aces here, first half tonight in this one against the Wings. I think they can probably give this number. I just think that there's a lot of support here, I feel like, for Dallas. I'm not sure I'm in just because they played so well. I'm going to lay 3 points in the first half here with LA and with Las Vegas and take the Aces in the first half. Here comes the chat. We've got, Flea Mathis is here today. Hello to Flea. Cash Game likes the Aces on the money line. 9 Legacy will take that spread with the Wings here. And Robert likes the over here in this one. Maybe I should touch a little bit maybe here on the total there. I didn't really cover it too much there, but and didn't really talk about the other either. But we did. But here in this one, look, the Aces have been leaning to the under here recently. They are 4-6 to the under in their last 10. Dallas is 6-3 to the over on the road. 9 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone over. You do have a huge number here in this one, and I don't think to be honest, I think I got a premium on this one. Just let's see what Robert's got here, but this thing, this thing probably could go through the roof. It feels like tonight. You got Dallas here. If they do play well enough to get this cover, you're going to see this game well into the almost 190 range, I think, here tonight. And finally, the Liberty taking on the Storm in this one. It's tough because the Storm's actually they've lost 11 in a row, I think, right now, but they are 6-3 against the spread at home. Liberty are 3-5 against the spread on the road. It's not a great situation, but it still feels like the Liberty should smash them here in this one. Maybe the first half is the better call. I've been getting burned trying to lay these big favorites a little bit in the first half. I'm not sure. Look, Seattle's 3-15, but they are 9-9. Both teams are 9-9 against the spread. I guess it's kind of a toss-up there. And you see, let's see, Seattle is a dog. 8-8 so far. New York is a favorite, just 7-9 there. So interesting numbers anyway overall for this matchup. But let's see how you've got it here on this one. This one's tough. You got a point spread of a dozen here in the late game. So I get it. Now, it does seem like the Liberty were starting to look like themselves before they lost to Washington and LA. I don't have a problem. I think Washington's pretty good, but Seattle's got this massive losing streak right now. They've covered well at home, but I think a lot of that was coming before this kind of current collapse here. I know 11 seems like a lot of games, but they did start pretty well. Remember, they were 3-4 at one point before they've lost 11 in a row here right now. So Liberty have dominated this matchup straight up, winning 8 of the last 10 meetings. And it feels like the defense that should control it here, although I don't think that's necessarily going to stop the Liberty. I think the Liberty keep going here right now and keep scoring here. Maybe Seattle gets a back door here because it might end up being a game that gets into the mid 170s or even higher, with Seattle getting maybe a little bit of junk time there at the end. I have a feeling this is a higher scoring game. Now, 7 of the last 9 meetings between the clubs have stayed under here. I know Seattle's offense, they've totally struggled right now, especially against elite defenses. But I think if New York here, remember, they're not saying they're on cruise control, waiting for the Commissioner's Cup championship game, but they're decidedly better than this team. So, man, this one's kind of tough here. I'm going to go over in the first half. Over in the first half here, New York and Seattle. I know the Sharps are kind of, I don't know, I thought they were on the under, but the totals moved up, and I thought, if the totals moved up here, I think that the money is seeing it the way I am, because I don't think people are really interested in taking the over with as bad as Seattle's offense has been. But I just think the Liberty are going to put up a big number here, and Seattle may drag themselves along and put up a relatively big number, for them anyway, because what's their team total here? About 78 or so, right? They could get into the 80s here if New York reaches into the 95-ish range, 95 to 80, that gets you New York and over there for sure. So I'll go over 86 here in the first half with New York and Seattle here. So hope that's a good roundup there. Let me see what you guys had in this one. Robert went over in this one. Cash Kane is on the Storm on the spread here. All right. Oh, we got one more game here. Let me put myself in the spotlight here. We're also going to do the drawing here in a moment. Uh-oh. Where did I go? All right. We got one more game here, you guys. Let's take a look. We're going to the CFL tonight. Why not? Seems like we've been doing pretty well here in the CFL so far. I hope Nuke didn't quit on me already. I haven't heard him make a pick here in 2 weeks. All right, here we go with the game tonight I've lost my place. Here we go. Got the Elks and the Bombers tonight. I guess you could just say, I'd take the over. I mean, every game so far, this has been so incredible. The CFL's had such an incredible season here so far. I mean, every game is great. Every game is high scoring. Every game is a score fest here at this point. Been very exciting so far here in the CFL. So far this season, there have been 9 overs and 1 under. What are you going to do in this one? Do you need me to handicap this game, or should I just say that? Now, not to get too carried away here, there's definitely a scenario here where you got the Bombers here favored in this one by a touchdown, and look, it's a great game here. This is a high leverage game. It feels like right now with the Elks and the Bombers. You do have right now the Elks coming in 2-0. Yes, the Bombers did have that loss to Hamilton last week, 37-27. I think 10 points was one game did finish 14, but it wasn't like it was a 2-touchdown game. I think it was a 1-touchdown game, and there was a late TD or something like that. But for Winnipeg, they've got the defense. They have the defense. It's just that will it stay under? Because they can stop this passing game of Edmonton. As good as Edmonton is right now, I mean, this feels like, oh, man, can I really go under in one game? I've lost every time I've tried to go under here so far. Every time I get to the end of the show, I'm almost out of juice here right now. Now, for Winnipeg, they do have some issues here, but their defense is going to be pretty good too against their defense is going to be real solid here against Edmonton for sure in this one. Could it go under here at 55.5? One of these games got to go under. It feels like if any game was going to go under, maybe it would be this one. But maybe the Bombers here can win and cover. Edmonton's, obviously pretty strong as well. I know a lot of people are saying Fajardo's not going to be able to get it going here, but he's got his targets here with Austin Mack coming off a decent game last time. He can spread it around now. How about Justin Rankin so far? He's been maybe the league's most valuable player so far this season for Rankin. Last game against Montreal, 230 yards, 2 touchdowns. In the first game against Ottawa, 196 yards, a touchdown, 5 receptions. I'd say Justin Rankin is, to me, you could pick a guy. I guess Trevor Harris is probably off to a pretty hot start too, obviously, so far this season. He's been massive, but he's a quarterback. I think you had to look at anybody else. Also, Chad Kelly here. I can't deny the quarterbacks have been great, and usually you're not going to get a running back as like an MVP. I guess I'm getting carried away, but Justin Rankin has been the man. We know he's had big games before, but the first 2 games to come out like he has, he's really been he's been the man. He's really been the man here for Edmonton here so far this season. But I do kind of like Winnipeg here. Just 3 points is a little bit tough when all these games are kind of coming down, to the wire here. All the games are good, and 3 points, it does make it a little bit tough. So it's a free play. I'm taking Winnipeg here in this one. Give me the Bombers to give Edmonton their first loss. I think you got 2 very good teams here for sure, and we'll see about that total. Maybe I have a premium, but could it really go under in this game? There's Nuke. There's my Nukie, and he's got the Bombers in the first half here. Great game tonight. The Nine Legacy did that WNBA. Robert's going over. You'd have to be crazy not to try just keep going over. But like I said, if it does feel like there's going to be a defensive game in any game this weekend, and they can't all go over, can they? I don't even remember what game went under now. 9 of the 10 have gone under here. This one feels like mostly because we're dealing with such, with 2 real good teams here a little bit. I think that's why, to me, it does feel kind of like maybe we got to pick an under somewhere, some way. All right, that might be it for the morning steam. Let's go ahead and do the drawing right now and see, and we'll give away a subscription package here with my Winnable. Please go over to winnable.com. If you win this drawing, just go to winnable.com and enter the promo code WINNER if you win this drawing, and you'll get the 1 month. Choose 1 month and then hit winner. You're not going to be charged. You know where to find me. I'm here every day. I'm not going to do that to you. Winnable, they have, hey, look, be honest with you. One guy, he said my picks were too expensive, and he canceled them. 38 cents was a little bit too expensive for him, and he canceled all of it, and he did the chargeback thing where he, took back like several $100s. I didn't know you could do that. I figured you might be able to do a week. And this guy had been a subscriber of mine. He obviously liked the picks. He was a subscriber for 3 months, or longer than that, but they credited him back like 2 months. Okay, let me see here. I think we have it right now for the drawing. Let me see. I'm sure I set it up here. Okay, here we go. Uh-oh. Do we have it? It's going. Oh, gosh. It's going already. Who's going to win? Who's going to win? Here it is. All right. AOD won it. Thank you, AOD, for always coming by and saying hi. Thank you, AOD. He's our winner in the contest here today. It's going to do it for the morning steam. Stay tuned. Right now, 25 minutes away, we got Sharky Waters, we got Mikey Money joining you here for Bases Loaded. Don't forget, let's pump up this opening day of the contest. We got to run the commercial here. Let's do Mikey this time for the contest and listen to it, because this is our big day here for the first day. You want to get in right away and make sure you get your home run guy in every day. Let's listen to Mike.
It's the Home Run Derby here on the Sports Money Network. You guys excited to bring you the first of its kind contest here on the Sports Money Network with prizes and giveaways galore, courtesy of the Sports Money Network. We're looking to get you guys a 9-day contest. Starts June 25th through July 3rd, and all you have to do is comment below. The Home Run Derby prediction needs all 4 criteria: the player name, the team name, the home run pricing or odds that you got that at, and the book you got them from. As an example, you would say Aaron Judge with the Yankees at plus 250 on DraftKings in the comments section. It's 1 entry per person per day. Must include all 4 components out there. The entry limit counts. And you come back daily. We'll give you guys updates as the contest progresses. I think you have what it takes to win the Home Run Derby. Comment below, and let's cash together with the Sports Money Network.
I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it. Fuse like a magnet, lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine.
Okay, great job, Mike. And so it is Thursday. Make sure your guy is in the lineup and he's not one of those scratched guys. We did give you earlier some great heads up picks there. Maybe if I had to throw out, maybe you're looking for a few more. But like I said, you can't go wrong with some of those guys like we talked about there already. But maybe if I had to look even a little bit deeper here today, man, I thought we went over them all. Let's see who's in there today. With Toronto. Let's see who's in there with the Mets today here as well. But, man, you got a guy that's like PCA on fire. These Cubs are on fire. Somebody said Jazz earlier. He could definitely do it today. I think Lindor, he does have a 945 slugging against Matthew Boyd with a couple of home runs, albeit in 40 at-bats or 40 plate appearances. So thank you for this. Okay, there it is. Home Run Derby official entry video. And remember, you got to go to the right video, the Home Run Derby video, and everybody will list. So you can list them all there. You might even be able to look at them all and kind of go contrarian a little bit if you wanted to, I think. So thank you, everybody. Enjoy the contest here from the Sports Money Network. I know we got some great prizes in there. I think I've got some packages in there as well for everyone, that some of the winners there. So it's going to be a fun 10 days or so with that contest. Thank you to the guys for getting that together for everyone, and we'll have a great time with that here on the new Sports Money Network. That's going to do it here. Have a great sports betting day. We'll be back tomorrow. Enjoy the World Cup and enjoy all the action. For the Sports Money Network, I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Las Vegas.
I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine.